If you clicked on this video, you're obviously interested in taking your looks to the next level. Well, you're exactly where you need to be. I've been working on improving my looks for a little over 7 years now. This is where I started. And this is where I am today. Over the course of these 7 years, I have amassed a ton of information and personal experience. So whether you think you're ugly or you're just trying to improve your looks, you're gonna leave this video with new information that's gonna help you succeed on your LooksMaxxing journey. So what even is LooksMaxxing? Before we can get into LooksMaxxing, I want to establish what LooksMaxxing even is. Because most people view LooksMaxxing as just their external looks. This could be a combination of your face, your body, your hair, your fashion sense, basically what people can see on the outside immediately. But in order to succeed at LooksMaxxing, you need to recognize that you don't just have an external appearance, you also have an internal appearance that the majority of people don't even realize exists. And this internal appearance can actually make or break how attractive other people view you and how you view yourself. This internal appearance I'm talking about is a combination of your beliefs, thoughts, words, actions, and habits. To sum it up, your internal appearance is your self-image, or in other words, how you view yourself. You can have a great external appearance, but if your internal appearance is ugly, you will still turn people away, or it will limit you from believing in yourself, thus leading you to miss out on many opportunities you can get with people in life. On the flip side, you can have an average external appearance, but if your internal appearance is solid, you can get away with so many things. That makes people think, how the fuck is he doing this? A perfect example of this is an average or below average looking guy with a hot girlfriend or wife that loves him to death. What I really want you guys to realize is that true LooksMaxxing is not just an external transformation, it's an internal one as well. So along this journey, make sure you're not just focusing on improving your external appearance, because your internal appearance is just as important. In fact, sometimes it can even be more important. So in order to LooksMax, you need to be able to look at yourself objectively. And this is the hardest thing for most people. It's very hard to look at yourself objectively from an outside perspective, because it obviously doesn't feel good to be critical about yourself. But in order to gain the most growth, you need to be objective. To be honest, at the start, I had a lot of trouble doing this as well. And the reason my journey has taken so long in the first place is because I didn't do this. I was just looking at myself as a whole and working on things that I thought I needed to do without actually looking at my appearance individually and taking stock of the little parts of myself that I could improve and focusing on those. If I just done this one simple thing from the start, I probably could have cut down my journey by half or even more. So I have 2 exercises that's going to help you look at yourself objectively. The first exercise is going to allow you to look at your external appearance objectively. And the second exercise is going to allow you to look at your internal appearance objectively. So for exercise 1, I want you to imagine yourself as another person who doesn't know you. If they could see you right now and they were judging you purely based off your looks, what would they say looks good? And what would they say looks bad? Write it all down, line by line, because what comes to your mind in this exact moment is going to be exactly what you need to improve on. Now, the second exercise is going to take a lot longer for most people, because most people simply aren't used to doing this. Not only that, but this exercise can often be scary, because it's going to reveal to you the true parts of yourself that you never even knew existed, yet they influence your life every single day. But at the same time, if you're willing to do this exercise, it's going to bring the most long-term gains to your overall appearance. So what is this exercise? Well, it's all about learning self-observation of your internal dialogue, which includes your thoughts, words, and actions that are directed towards yourself or others. If you really want to succeed at this exercise, it needs to become a habit that you do throughout the day. It needs to become a way of life. And to be honest, this habit is literally what will help you transform your personality into someone who's confident, someone who loves themselves, and someone who can go and do the things they want in life. And the way you start this exercise is just by observing your internal dialogue throughout the day. When you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, what immediately comes up? When you're walking around in public, what is coming up? When the day's over and you get into bed, what is coming up? These are obviously just a few examples, but you can practice this exercise in every scenario. And the thing you should mostly be looking for is, how are you feeling? What are you thinking? How are you acting? By doing this as much as possible so it becomes a habit, you'll start to become aware of the repeating scripts going on in your mind that are literally recreating your self-image and your internal appearance. Once you finally become aware of these scripts through observing your internal dialogue, just as you did in the previous exercise, you want to make sure you write it down. A simple example of this could look like you brushing your teeth in the morning and just making it a point to observe your internal dialogue. Over time, you actually start to realize that you don't like looking at yourself in the mirror, because when you do, you get negative thoughts about your appearance. This makes you feel terrible and oftentimes causes you to look at the sink instead of yourself at the mirror. So as a result, you try and get out of the bathroom as quickly as possible. Before doing this exercise, this very thing would always happen, but you were unaware of the true reasons why you would always brush your teeth so quickly. You just thought you didn't like to brush your teeth, and you didn't like to use the bathroom. Until now. But now that you are aware of this, you write this script down so that next time you're brushing your teeth in the bathroom, you can look yourself in the mirror and start taking steps to change this. And these steps will come in the next point on our list. But before that, if you have any questions or you want more personal, in-depth info catered towards your experience and your goals, you can easily hop on a one-on-one call with me. I've also made a free ebook called Your Hero's Journey that's going to help you on your self-development journey. In this book, I go over the 10 secret stages of success that you're 100% going to go through in life on the path to pursuing your goals. You can find both of these links in the description or the pinned comment down below. Now that you've objectively taken stock of your internal and external appearance by writing everything down, it's time to start taking action on everything you've written down. For each of you, depending on what you're trying to improve about your appearance, the methods you will need to use will be different. I mean, I could probably make a 4-hour video and still have more time to keep talking about different things you can use to improve different aspects of your external and internal appearance. But for the sake of time in this video, I'm just going to list some of the main things you want to focus on to improve your looks that I've learned on my own journey. So, as a man trying to improve your external appearance, you need to learn how to make yourself look more masculine and healthy. This for most men usually translates to developing thicker eyebrows, a thick beard and mustache that are well groomed, a haircut that matches your face shape, clean and clear looking skin, a strong physique, wearing fashionable clothes and jewelry, tattoos, and doing face exercises like mewing to build a stronger, more defined jawline. In terms of improving your internal appearance, the main things I've learned includes internally developing confidence, a healthy self-image, learning to love and accept yourself, finding out your purpose in life and pursuing it, and becoming a man who is able to lead himself, which translates to you being able to lead others. Now, if you guys want a more in-depth guide where I focus directly on methods that improve aspects of your appearance, comment down below and let me know what aspects you want me to talk about. Now, as I said earlier, my LooksMaxxing journey has been a long and a hard one. But it's only been like this because I was fucking up and making unnecessary mistakes that extended the process way farther than it needed to be. Now, I don't regret it because it's taught me a lot of lessons that I can now give to you guys, so it doesn't take you 7 years to improve your looks. So as I'm going through this list of mistakes, make sure you guys avoid them. So the first mistake you want to avoid is not taking stock and just improving stuff here and there. You see, a big thing that I did when I started was I would just look at little aspects of myself and then be like, okay, maybe I can improve this, maybe I can improve that. And then I'd work on it a bit, but I wasn't serious about it. I didn't have a list. I sure as hell didn't take stock. I wasn't looking at the perspective from another person and how they might be judging me. And the issue with this is because you will look at yourself and be like, oh, well, I don't care if anybody doesn't like that. I fuck with this and all that kind of stuff. And that's great. You can do that. But at the end of the day, it's better to look at yourself objectively so you can figure out, okay, what will make me look the best, not what do I think looks good. Now, if you're completely fine with doing something that you know doesn't make you look the best, that's completely fine to rock that if you just fuck with that look. Now, the second thing you want to avoid is trying to be perfect or just not being consistent. Now, during my 7-year journey, I was a bit of both of these. At times, I would go overboard and I would be trying to do every single little thing and maximize every little look I could do. I had the skincare routine going, I had the minoxidil, I had working out, I was doing facial exercise. I wasn't just doing mewing. I had like these little gua sha things. I had so much stuff I was doing at one time that I just ended up burning out and being like, you know what, fuck this. It was only after I started balancing things out, developing a routine and developing things that actually worked and were sustainable that I was actually able to continually upkeep the routine that I made for myself. So you don't need to be perfect and you don't want to be inconsistent. You want to be balanced and in the middle. The routine that I live by is as long as you're doing things good 80% of the time, the other 20% of the time you can slack off. It's completely fine. Now, the third thing, comparing yourself to others. and not focusing on yourself. I actually have a video on this if you guys want to look at it on screen. Comparing yourself to others can fuck you up mentally, and it can really destroy your self-image, especially if you're comparing yourself to someone who doesn't even look like you and doesn't even have the same talents as you. Like, we all look different. Some people are never going to look like a male model, even if they LooksMaxx their whole life, and that's completely fine. But objectively, if you're like a 4 or 5 on a rating scale and you can get yourself to a 6 or a 7, bro, you're in there. Like, you don't have to try and be a perfect 10 or a perfect 9. Just work on yourself and focus on your strengths. Focus on what you can do and just focus on looking the best you can be. Now, this is mistake number 4, and that's going to be not using every tool at your disposal to improve. Personally, for me, I didn't do this. Like, this is a big mistake I made. For so long, I was just looking at myself, looking at my own appearance and just trying to improve what I thought could be improved. Now, there's tons and tons, there's so many YouTube videos you could just go online and look at LooksMaxxing, and they give you a full-on guide of every single little thing you can improve. But most of the time, I wasn't really doing much. I was just kind of eyeing it and winging it. This is something you don't want to wing. You really want to try and invest whatever you can invest into your appearance. Now, if you don't have the money, I understand all that kind of stuff, but you should be working towards the money to get what you need to get to improve yourself. Your looks is a big thing in life, so you really want to try and get this thing down, and the faster you get it down, the better. The last mistake, taking no progress pics. I'm not a picture person. I'm not even a camera person. Like, to be honest, me doing this in front of the camera is insane. I still am like, how am I even doing this? But you really want to take progress pictures every month or so, every other month, just so you can look back on who you are and how far you've come. It's so easy to be doing LooksMaxxing and feel like you're not seeing any results. If you have no progress pictures to show you there are results, there's nothing to kind of get you out of that depressed state. But when you do take progress pictures to show you your results each month, you can literally see month after month after month the amount of progress you've gone through. So to recap everything, you want to make sure you focus on your internal and your external appearance. LooksMaxxing is not just one, it's both of these things, and when you combine them, that's what gives you the best results long term. Number 2, you want to be able to look at yourself objectively and write down all the flaws you can find about yourself so you can improve them. And the best way to do this is by doing both exercises. Number 3, you want to be taking action on the things you've written down. Make sure you're not trying to do everything at once. Pick like 1, 2, or 3 things that you can do together and not burn out on, and work on those. When you feel like those are at a sufficient level, then move on to the next stuff in the list. Keep doing this, and eventually you'll have crossed off everything on the list and you'll be looking 10 times better. Number 4, make sure not to make the mistakes I made on my journey so you don't have to take 7 years on your journey. And now, just to show you guys how far I've actually come on my own journey, I'm gonna put my progress pictures on screen, and I'm gonna be honest, this is super embarrassing, but whatever, I'm doing it for you guys. So 2015, I don't even know what I was doing here. But you could see literally I wasn't taking care of my face at all during this time. My teeth looked fucked up. I had pimples all over my face. My eyebrows are okay. I don't know what I was doing with my hair. I don't know what I was wearing. I look like an oval. But regardless, I'm glad I could look back on these now. So now we're in 2020, the year where the elites held the whole world hostage over a virus that cannot be named. What? I can't say that? Oh. As you can see in this photo, I pretty much did not make much gains. I look a tiny bit better, but this is where I was making a ton of my mistakes. From 2015 to 2020 was when I was making the most mistakes. During this time, I really was just looking at myself from my perspective and not looking at myself objectively. I was doing what I wanted, I was wearing what I wanted, I wasn't really caring that much about how other people thought about me, and it showed. You can just see my hairstyle didn't fit my head at all. My eyebrows actually were thinner. I think I was actually trimming them during that time for whatever reason. I wasn't using minoxidil, so my facial hair was just not good at the time. I think I was on a skincare routine at this time though. At least I was doing that. But now we're gonna move on to 2021, and this was the year that I stopped most of the mistakes I was making, guys. This was the year that I applied most of the things that I'm showing you in this video, and you're gonna see why this is the year that I feel like I improved my appearance so much within a year's time. Yeah, during this time, your boy's looking a lot better. I trimmed the hair down, my hairstyle matches my face. I was rocking the slit eyebrow during that time, and I thought that was pretty good. I didn't have any facial hair really at this time, but I was rocking the pretty boy look. And finally, we come to literally present day, and you can literally see that, in my opinion, I'm not some male model, but I think I look fucking dope in this photo. Compared to 2015, my eyebrows are way thicker, my beard, which was pretty much non-existent, is thicker, my mustache is way thicker, my hair is thicker. Everything just looks thicker and more masculine. Also, if you just look at my eyes, I just look more confident. And that comes along with that internal appearance. During this whole time, I was focusing on my internal too. And that's why there's a full transformation going on, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna put all 4 pictures on the screen here. They're probably gonna be like this. And you can literally see for yourself, me going from 2015 to 2020 to 2021 to present day. What LooksMaxxing can actually do for you. So I don't want to hear anybody in the comments or anybody saying, oh, LooksMaxxing is only for this type of person, or I'm just ugly, I can't LooksMaxx, blah, blah, blah. You can literally do it. Like I did it, you can do it too. So don't make any excuses. So now that you know everything you need to succeed on your LooksMaxxing journey, you're gonna wanna watch this video next, where I talk about the best S-tier habit that's gonna help to assist you to reach your LooksMaxxing goals that much quicker.